1 through 4 and 6 through 10 have been pan technology, but the fifth fund was basically biotech only, mainly because Sandoz, now Novartis at the time, made us an offer we couldn't refuse, where they put up all the money and we got a 50% carry. And that turned out to be an 11x fund, so it was one of the more successful Avalon funds. And it was probably an example of the most successful collaboration between pharma and venture capital. So where you actually get real live venture capitalists making the investment decisions and managing the investments, not doing it internally, and not having some sort of strange relationship where you get a bunch of venture capitalists like MPM and J&J, having a dog and pony show every 6 months for companies that have sort of wandered over the transom. So I think that was a great model at the time to show you how boneheaded pharma is. So after the completion of that very successful fund, Avalon 5, and it was so successful that we retired, for me only for 2 weeks because I went crazy. But anyway, so after that, Novartis decided, well, they were going to do it by themselves. So they put a guy in San Diego. And you would have thought that he would have called one of the partners at Avalon and said, I'm here, I got sent from the home office in Basel. These are the people who kept calling us up and they were saying, what do we do with all these share certificates you're sending us? so they put a guy locally here. And not once, I won't say his name, not once did he ever call and say, well, what's the magic sauce? How'd you guys do this? Can we have lunch? Nothing. Anyway, so the arrogance of pharma, but now they're not arrogant anymore, so I think things are starting to come around. So maybe it's like Tim is suggesting, you get limited partners who are pharmaceutical companies, because you do really need that hands-off process like that.
Any other ideas? I have one of my own to go forward, but any ideas, Jim, of how we can reinvent ourselves?
Well,
maybe more
I think we do what we do.
Yeah.
Do we do it with a lot of money, or do we do it with more limited resources and be effective? I think we will. I don't think it's a reinvention per se of the fund structures or the like. It's basically, I think, reacting tactically to the situation. And I call that tactical reaction to your Sandoz opportunity, if you would. We have a big problem with the demise, if you would, of about 2/3 of our brethren in this business, with financing companies that are in domain 5 and 6, okay, not domain 8. Okay, so we have a relationship with the Russians to kind of come in, and some of you know about those things, and it's working pretty well. It's pretty complicated, but it's working pretty well. We've started to fund some, and they're in there matching our syndicates with capital to go forward. You're aware of some of those. I know. But the point is, that's a tactical reaction to a situation that we all find ourselves in. And Paul Gompers aside, I mean, that's the best I can do.
Okay. And that's a good segue into what I was going to say, which is, in my travels around the world, I've noticed that in some of the emerging countries, whether it's China or Brazil, we see a much more active government involvement in funding venture capital firms. We don't see that in the United States. Should we be encouraging our politicians to get involved in funding?
Well, that was already tried, the SBIC.
Well, not through SBIC, but actually be a limited partner in your funds.
I'm a Democrat, and I don't think that's a good idea.
And the government became a partner in the automobile companies, I mean, a shareholder.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but that was solving a problem of an existing industry, and so
saving jobs.
So don't we have a problem?
Yeah.
In terms of funding innovation? Yeah. Innovation depends on the venture capital industry. Well, don't we have a problem?
They've got the rhetoric down pat, but they don't have the activity down pat. Okay, and believe me, they're a long way from that. And it's because basically you have an essential process that's going on there that politically doesn't permit it.
Well, I think also there's, and I hope I don't offend, well, yeah, you're not okay, but you might be offended. But if you look around at people who are in venture capital and the entrepreneurs in the companies, they're not all easy to understand people that would pass every due diligence test and say, oh gosh, this guy really would be good. I mean, I think of some of us, that's why I'm leaving Jim out here, Some of us are doing what we're doing because we couldn't get jobs anyplace else. You know, and, yeah, I mean, I